All good?
All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this international welcome by Fanshawe College. We are so excited to welcome you to Fanshawe College in person or in a blended format for fall 2020. My name is Saurabh Malhotra, and I will be your host for this morning. I will take you through some content around Fanshawe College and the services we offer, but I have some awesome special guests joining us as well. We also have a quiz for everyone. We also have a contest at the end, and we will ask you guys for your help at the end as well. So we hope all of you will be willing to do that. So good morning again. Welcome from across the world, and let's get started with our session. This morning, we will be talking about multiple things. We will, of course, talk about COVID-19 and how Canada and London has handled it. There will be some general information that I'll be sharing with all our students this morning. And then I have those awesome special guests that you'll not just see today, but during your program at Fanshawe College, you'll keep experiencing the awesomeness of these special guests. Then we will also have some specific information about the services offered by the International Center to all our students. We like to call our students Falcons. So don't be confused if all of us refer to you as Falcons, because that's what we call all our students. At the end, we'll also talk about the future. That's where I said we need a little bit of your help and to spread the word around. We hope you'll be willing to do that. So before we start, I have a message from Wendy Curtis, who is the Executive Director of the International Center. Here is the message, everyone.
Hi everyone, my name is Wendy Curtis and I'm the Executive Director of Fanshawe International. You might recognize my name from your letter of admission. I'm fortunate to be able to welcome you now to Fanshawe. Know that wherever you are joining us from, Fanshawe's there. Whether you're studying online or in a blended format, in Canada or outside of Canada, you can count on Fanshawe's faculty to provide an exceptional experience, and you can connect with Fanshawe's international team around the world, in your time zone, at your convenience. Watch the multiple videos, Zoom with a real person, attend your orientation, meet your faculty. International Student Life Coordinators are always available to answer your questions. So a warm Fanshawe College welcome to each of you. Like over 200,000 alumni living and working around the world, you can do this. We guarantee it. Visit the Fanshawe College website and look under the tab about the fall semester to learn more about your semester and stay up to date on all things Fanshawe, and stay safe. So looking forward to welcoming you in September.
All right, that's just a short message from the Executive Director of Fanshawe College. All right, so as I said, we're going to start with a few questions for all of you. So if you're able to, go to www.menti.com and use this code. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that while I share my other presentation where there'll be exciting questions for all of you to answer, just to get a sense of how you guys are feeling this morning. What are you guys excited about, nervous about? So if you can do that, www.menti.com and use the code 5852935. I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that while I share my presentation, which will give you all the questions. Give me a second while I do that. Awesome. I hope all of you are able to see the first question. So the first question is, just want to get a sense of students joining us this morning, your first semester of your program. Are you in a blended or are you in an online program? So, oh, wow, you can see the results coming in right live. So of course, a vast majority of the students who are joining us are students studying in an online format, so which is great. And we have a good number of students joining us who are in blended format as well. So that means those students would be in Canada right now. So that's awesome. But yeah, that's the first question I had for everyone. So thank you everyone for answering that. Here is the next question for all of you. So do you have friends or families friends or family at Fanshawe or in London? Just to get a sense of how many of you are completely new to London, how many of you know London already, or at least have heard of London and Fanshawe from your friends and families. Oh, wow, awesome. So you can see this. A vast majority of students are new to Fanshawe in London, but you don't need to worry because us here at the International Center and the college across the college, all the people that you'll be meeting today would be your friends, almost like family, while you study here at Fanshawe and beyond, while you make a career for yourself here in Canada. So fantastic. Thank you for all the answers, everyone. Lovely. Here is the next question. In one word, how are you feeling before starting a program? Like some examples would be like your feeling. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you, oh yeah, I see nervous came first. Yeah, whatever you're feeling, eh? Awesome. Interesting to see excited and nervous are almost the same size. So the bigger the feeling. Well, I love that one, excited and nervous, because I think that's what most of you would be feeling, excited to start something new, but also nervous because the world is a different place for now, at least. Wow, that's lovely. Well, let me try and read some. Yay! Someone feels yay. Someone feels falcon excited. That's lovely. Someone feels unsettled. I hope we can help you. Someone feels like they're starting on an adventure. Someone is anxious. Someone is super excited and happy. That's awesome. You can see all the responses coming in. All right, so thank you for that. I'm going to move to the next question. What are you most looking forward to? And I've given you five options, sorry. Your program, your interaction with your professors, your interaction with your classmates, you're looking forward to Canada, or extracurricular activities like athletics and career services and things like that. Even though career services in true sense is not really extracurricular, but what are you feeling? What do you feel like you are looking forward to the most? Canada, of course. Like I think I could have guessed that one. Oh, now the program overtakes Canada. Canada overtakes program. This is awesome. All right, so that's awesome. If you're most looking forward to your program, you will experience something truly exceptional because our professors, our academic team is the best in the country, and you will experience the awesomeness of Fanshawe in person or online through all this. So thank you so much for answering those questions, everyone. That was just really, really nice of you. Let me come back to our presentation and share that in a second. Okay, let's get started. Something I always love talking about. So I understand most of you are starting a program online. However, you would be coming to Canada, depending on the situation, sometime in the future. So I always like to explain and kind of give you a sense of what London feels like and how integral Fanshawe is to London. You would see all our campuses, they're spread across London. You start from the East End with the Aviation Center, which is right at the airport of the city. Then there is the Oxford Street campus, which is, of course, our biggest campus, and the Z building. If any of you are in automotive programs, you would be in the Z building, which is very close to the Oxford Street campus. Then if you move left, that's London Downtown Campus. That's like the center of London. That's where a lot of our hospitality, programming, media programs take place. And then if you look at the south, that's the London South Campus, which is an awesome campus that a lot of you would be starting in for business management, business administration, business IT, and agribusiness management programs as well. So this kind of gives you a sense of how spread out Fanshawe is in the city of London. And when you get to Fanshawe, or if you're already here, do make a point of exploring the city, because that adds value to you and your experience here at Fanshawe. Now, let's talk a little bit about COVID-19, how it's impacting everything. every country has been impacted very, very differently. Now, it's been serious in Canada. However, one thing that is really heartening to see in Canada is um, that any advice that our political leadership gives us is based on health advice, advice of the health leadership. Health Canada and other healthcare experts are the ones driving Canada's response to COVID-19. So in London, Middlesex especially, we've been very, very careful about how we open up. There are many examples of how businesses and communities have come together to help each other. But as everyone knows, COVID-19 is still a serious situation, and Canada, Ontario, and London, Middlesex takes it very, very seriously. We're going to talk about a little bit about what's happening on campus right now, because even if you're not on campus, you still want to know what's happening on campus and what are the protocols that Fanshawe has put in place to keep everyone, our students, our professors, and our staff stay safe. So as we talk right now, of course, social distancing is absolutely necessary. Masks are mandatory in every indoor space, including schools and colleges, grocery stores, everything. It's absolutely mandatory to do that. There are small social gatherings allowed. Businesses are open. And as I said, masks are required right now. I also want to take a second to talk about how Canada has responded to COVID-19. Now, it's been really heartening to see how Canada has understood how important international students are to Canada and our future, frankly. So there is, of course, more that could be done. However, Canada did put in a lot of rules around visas, which made sure at least the students who were in the online format could start their program with the stage 1 approval, or AIP as we call it. Many of you would have your stage 1 approval or AIP. And they want to ensure that we give you a head start for your future and your career here in Canada. So any online program that you're doing up to 8-12 months is absolutely valid for postgraduate work permit, all those things. And we'd have experts later in the session who could talk about that too. But that's how Canada has responded to COVID-19, and especially for international students. Now, as I said, IRCC, which is our immigration body, has allowed AIP for international students. You, of course, absolutely need to check the government's travel website before looking at coming to Canada. When you come to Canada, and we have our student engagement team talking about the Fanshawe Care Services, we provided everyone a self-isolation plan. We created a checklist for everyone as well, any student who were coming to Canada. At this point, we are saying we're not encouraging anyone in an online program to travel right now. The situation is fluid, and if the situation changes, of course, our advice and our recommendation will change as well to our students. Okay, so there are programs happening in online and blended format, right? For online students, there are this awesome technologies that we'll be using to engage you online. Please make sure that you attend your program orientations tomorrow, September 18th, because that is where your program coordinators, your professors are going to talk to you about how they're going to deliver your programs. It's super important that you do that. For blended programs, of course, some of the classes, not all, some of the classes will be happening on campus, and social distancing will apply, masks will be required, and minimum time will be on campus. And of course, timetables could be found on your web advisor. All right, here is a quick video. Give me a second and I'll play this video for all of you.
We hear you. We know you're concerned, but you can do this. It might be different than what you expected, but you are definitely not alone, and we're here to help you along the way. We are still Fanshawe, and your future is still our priority. We guarantee it.
Yeah, so that's the Fanshawe Experience Guarantee. You can visit the fanshawe.ca/international or fanshawe.ca for more information on the Fanshawe Experience Guarantee. Our professors, our staff have been trained to make sure online/blended experience is the best in the country for all of you. So if you want to find out more, fanshawe.ca/guarantee is your link to go. All right, so campus health and safety. There are multiple things that Fanshawe has done to make sure that the health and safety is very well taken care of on campus. A couple of things that we've done is ensure online screening before entering the campus. So anyone coming to campus, staff or students, have to do this online screening and kind of try to ensure the highest safety standards are met for your time on campus, students who are doing anything which is on campus right now. There are a bunch of really good resources that Fanshawe has for online learning. Now, mind you, online learning as a full-time program might be new to all colleges. Fanshawe has been doing online learning for almost a decade. So there is really good resources that have been put in place. So the one resource that I really want to advise if you're doing online is the free open textbook called Learning to Learn Online. Now, we did send this textbook to online link to all our online students in the summer. However, if you want to look at that open textbook, you can look at this link as well, and that will really help you. Now, one thing I want to really kind of focus and talk about a little more is we are going virtual, but so many of the services that were being offered to you earlier continue to be offered and enhanced in many cases. I'll give you an example. At the International Center, there are so many international students that Fanshawe has more than 7,000 international students. We have international student life coordinators, and one of them will be talking to you later in the presentation. When students wanted to visit us, there is, of course, a queue system. You have to make an appointment. And then many times they had to wait a long time. Now, all that is virtual. You go online on the Fanshawe International webpage, you book an appointment, you know exactly what time they'll be calling you, or you'll be meeting them on Skype/Zoom. And it's become very, very convenient. We've heard that over and over again from students. So there are lessons that I think all of us have learned from this. And Fanshawe's commitment is that our services would be available to you, probably in a different format, but they will be available to you. One thing I always like talking to students about is Fanshawe College's employment rate. You come to Fanshawe to get an awesome education, but the end goal is to get into the workforce in Canada. Fanshawe is the best place you could have chosen for that. Fanshawe's graduate employment rate at 90.3% is #1 in Ontario. And there are many reasons for that. The #1 reason is our students and how qualified and how focused they are, but also our career services. And we have our career services here who will talk to you later as well. Our library services will be talking to you as well. And we will have our international student engagement team talk to you also. One thing that we do understand, all of you are in different time zones. So for many of you, it's 7 p.m. at night right now, or 8:30 p.m. at night. For some of you in the Americas, it's during the day. But we understand that all of you are in different time zones. So many of International Center services are available in your time zone. So our regular work timings have been 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. However, we've shifted that to 5:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. to make sure that if you want an appointment during your day, some of those appointments are available to you. And more details will be shared later in the presentation about that too. As I said, athletics is one thing that we can't do right now. However, there is awesome esports that are on. You can find this on the FSC webpage as well. Fanshawe has esports are alive and well, and really, really engaging way of just interacting with people. And if you're interested in this, this is something that you guys should check out. The 2020 rec movement is something that I think institutions across Canada have come together, and because recreation is not happening on campus, but there is this online movement that you can be a part of. There are fitness videos, there are competitions that are there. You can check this out at 2020recreationmovement.com. So as I said, many of the services have gone virtual, but they've added an exciting angle to our services as well. So that was it from me. I will come back at the end of the presentation. However, now I would like to introduce the first special guest. There'll be 4 people talking to you, but first special guest is FSU, then we'll have library services, then career services, and then Fanshawe International Student Engagement Team. 2 people will be talking to you from that team. So without further ado, let me welcome Katie Thakur, who is the president of Fanshawe Student Union. Now, Katie is going to talk to you about all the services that FSU offers, and you must visit their webpage. They offer excellent services to our students, and they're really partners of students in your time here at Fanshawe College. Katie?
Thank you, Saurabh. Thanks so much. Hi, Falcons. Good morning and welcome to this presentation on the Fanshawe Student Union. Today, we're here to answer some important questions on who we are, what are the various services we offer, and how to get connected with us on our various social media platforms. The FSU is an organization committed to excellence in service and student support within the diverse student community of Fanshawe College. We are here to advocate on our students' behalf and help them with almost anything and everything that they would possibly require assistance with during their time at Fanshawe. Our motto at the FSU is students serving students. With approximately 180 students in full season, a majority of whom are current fully online students, we are here to provide each student with the best and most meaningful student life experience. Next, please. Okay. My name is Katyayani Thakur, and I'm your president of the Fanshawe Student Union for the 2020-2021 academic year. My primary goal as president this year is to increase accessibility to the student union, as well as to enhance communication channels between the college administration and students. Should you require any assistance, help, or clarifications, please feel free to reach out to me by email on k_Thakur, that's THAKUR, at fanshawec.ca. Next, please. As the world continues to change around us, so too does the FSU, which is why I urge all of you to get connected with us on our various social media platforms, such as Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, I strongly recommend you visit our website, www.fsu.ca, on a regular basis. Through our various socials and website, we share the latest updates, news, and information on events and interesting contests for you to participate in. Next, please. Okay. So being a student representative body, the FSU is designed to meet the various needs and expectations of all students attending Fanshawe College. We will provide you multiple horizons. We'll offer multiple platforms to broaden your horizons and hone your skills through services, clubs, workshops, events, volunteering, and job opportunities, as well as several other initiatives. We urge you to grab every opportunity that drives you one step closer to fulfilling your dreams. Next, please. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the various services that we offer. We have clubs. You could either join a club or choose to start one. Clubs are a great way to interact with like-minded people and work on issues. We organize various events and field trips on campus for students to engage in and to several fun locations as well. FSU bikes. You could sign up to rent a bike for free for up to 3 days in summer and early fall. Interrobang. Interrobang is our weekly published campus newspaper that's published by the FSU that gives you the latest news on what's going on in the Fanshawe community and beyond. We have the games room. So at the games room, you could hang out with your friends, play pool, video games, that sort of fun activities. Class reps. You could sign up to be a class representative, volunteer for up to 10 pre-approved hours, and get entitled to a student leadership certificate under the co-curriculum record program. I think every student should grab this opportunity. It's great and it looks absolutely stunning on your resume. We even offer community legal services and off-campus housing services in partnership with the University of Western Ontario, London. Student governance and volunteering opportunities. You can be a part of FSU either by contesting elections or signing up to be a part of the numerous volunteering opportunities that we offer. Student coordinators. So we have the advocacy and communications coordinator, student life coordinator, and the finance coordinator to help you throughout your time at Fanshawe. Please visit us on www.fsu.ca/services for more information on all the services that you can avail. Next, please. Okay. So lastly, I'd like to inform all students that they're eligible to download a free version of Microsoft Windows and Microsoft Office. So just go to the webpage, which is www.fsu.ca/Microsoft, and follow the instructions. Also, this is kind of like surprise for a majority of the students because we just got this approved as of earlier this week. But all our students will be able to download a free version of the Adobe Creative Cloud as well. So it's absolutely free for students. Just go to the website www.fsu.ca/Adobe and avail that service. So for more information on how we can serve you, please visit our webpage, and I'll be open to taking any questions that you might have now.
All right, so I think we have time for a couple of questions. Thank you, Katie, for that awesome introduction to FSU services. If all of you see the Q&A or the chat box, if you have questions specific to FSU, Fanshawe Student Union, we might have time for 1 or 2 questions. If you want to put that on, I will pose those questions to Katie.
Yes, and if students have some other questions, please, by all means, feel free to email them to me.
Let me check if there are any questions that I can find in the chat box. Okay, I think, Katie, you answered every question that students had, but I'm sure there'll be questions students have during the presentation. Katie, I have students saying thank you for the Microsoft and the Adobe. That's something I think that they're looking at. There's one good question, Katie. Student is talking about volunteering while they're in their home country. Are there things that you have or you're looking at for volunteering opportunity, even while students are online? I don't know if you want to share anything about that.
Right. So as of now, the only volunteering opportunity that's available with us is the class reps program that I mentioned. That is the only one that can be successfully carried out in a virtual format. Other than that, then there's clubs which have also shifted into the virtual mode of delivery for the fall. But any other volunteering or job opportunities that we have, we'd require students to be in London. They wouldn't be successful virtually. So we're still working on that. If you're able to make others happen in any way, we'd be updating all the students through our socials.
I have one more question, Katie, for you. And the student is asking, how did you successfully run to be an FSU president? I don't know if you want to take that and answer that a little bit.
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, I'm just going to keep it pretty brief. So when I got to Canada, I mean, as a lot of students do feel low once they get here, it's only because, you're homesick, you miss your family. I mean, moving to a new country is never easy. So I was a bit low there. And my mom recommended that I get involved in student governance because previously I was the cultural president of my university. before I got to Canada. So I got involved. I ran for director last year, not as the president, but for director, and I was successful there. Got more involved in the student union. It was a great experience. So nice and so satisfying to be helping students out there, and which is what led me to run for president this year in March. And here I am.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Katie. Yeah, March this year seems like last year, I think, to everyone. Katie, thank you so much for joining us. I think that's all the time we have for questions for Katie. We appreciate your support to the students always, Katie, and FSU. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me to speak.
Awesome. So the next guest we have is Alexandra from Library. Before I hand it over to Alexandra, I would like to say, when we look at student success and after they're successful, and when we talk to them and what are the things that they did, these three guests that we have today, FSU, Library, Career Services, your involvement with them is a very good indicator of your success at Fanshawe, but also in your career in Canada. So please take advantage of all these awesome services that are being provided. With that, Alexandra, I'd like to hand it over to you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for such a wonderful introduction, and thank you for including the Library Learning Commons this morning. So my name is Alex, and I am one of two outreach specialists with the library. So I like to say that it's my job to bring the library to students. Normally that meant traveling to other campuses to provide our services, but at least we're fortunate to meet virtually this semester. So the first thing I want to highlight this morning is our digital library. So due to an upcoming move and a renovation that's happening on campus, the library was already starting to shift a lot of our collection online. So the library was and continues to be in a really good spot to provide virtual services to students. So the digital library includes all of our online resources and can be found on our website at www.fanshawelibrary.com. The really great thing about the digital resources is that you can access them from anywhere and anytime. So our entire online collection can be accessed from your home at any time. All you need is your Fanshawe username and password to access the resources. So that's the same username and password you would use for your WebAdvisor login. So we have over 130 different databases that cover a wide variety of subjects and disciplines, as well as different types of resources as well. So you can see in that list there, there's databases for journal articles, databases for ebooks, streaming videos, statistics and data, and more. So the library also hosts online workshops, which I'll touch on in a moment. And we've also been hosting some online contests and events that I encourage you to participate in. So you can find those on our Facebook, on our Twitter, and on the Fanshawe Here For You Instagram page. So you can go to the next slide. Thank you. So as mentioned, the library hosts online workshops to help you learn more about how to navigate our resources and perform research. So the examples that I listed here are just a sample of some of our more popular workshops. These are all offered multiple times throughout a semester. So we will offer them on different days and at different times of the day to make sure that there's a spot available for you that fits in your timetable. We're also offering several new workshops this semester, so I definitely recommend checking out our website to explore those. I also highly recommend all students take the academic integrity and the APA citation workshops. Those two workshops in particular address properly giving credit to your research and to the authors of your sources, how to avoid plagiarism, and then how to avoid getting any academic offenses. So the workshops are typically 1 hour long, and they're all offered through Zoom. So for a complete list of all of the workshops, you can go to our website, and there's a button that says Co-Curricular Record Workshops. If you click that, you will see an entire list as well as links on how to register for them. The nice thing about the library workshops as well is that they are part of Fanshawe's co-curricular record. So if you complete 10 hours of library workshops by April 2021, so by the end of the school year, you will receive a credit on your co-curricular record, which is fantastic. Next slide, please. So it's a lot of information to throw at you. We know that the library databases, and especially performing research for the first time, can be quite intimidating and scary. So that's where myself and my colleague Nicole can help. So we're available for remote appointments, so we can meet with you one-on-one via Zoom or via phone, whichever you prefer. So you can go on our website, book an appointment with us by selecting a day and a time that works best for you. The appointments typically last about 30 minutes to an hour long, but we can meet multiple times if you feel that you need more help. So we can go through your assignment guidelines with you. We can help you narrow down your topic, identify those keywords you're going to use to search in the databases, help you decide which of the 130 databases are relevant to you. Obviously, you don't have to search all of them. And then we'll show you some tips and tricks on how to search effectively and make your searches more efficient. If you're on the library website and looking for maybe some more immediate help, you will see what we call Ask On. So it's that button there beside Nicole's picture, and it's on the bottom right corner of the library homepage. So that box, you can click on it and it will open a chat window. In that window, you can type in your question and it will connect you instantly with a Fanshawe Library staff member. So like was mentioned earlier, we're trying to be very aware that students are in different time zones across the world. So we have expanded our virtual chat hours. So that button goes live at 6 a.m. every morning and it's open until midnight. So hopefully you'll be able to connect with somebody that way. Lastly, as always, you can reach us at our general email. So that's the library@fanshawec.ca email address. You can send any questions and they will direct you to the appropriate person from there. So that was a very quick overview of the library services. I hope to hear from all of you in the next semester, and I want to wish you all the best in the new school year. And I'm also happy to answer any questions you have right now, or you can email the library email address as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alex. Great overview of the services provided. And I think library especially has done an amazing job of taking services virtually, and they're available for all those amazing services. So if there are any questions that students would want to direct to library. Now, there are questions coming in about ebooks and like free textbooks for their program. If I could just clarify, the textbooks for programs remain in, like, students need a hard copy or a copy of those. The first place to start with for that, in my opinion, is the program coordinators and your program orientation. They would let you know what are absolutely required, what you can take from library. But I don't know, Alex, if you had anything to add about the books and ebooks, especially, that the students are asking about.
So that's a question we get all the time. So we usually start by recommending students go to the bookstore to get their book list. Typically, the library does not purchase textbooks. That being said, sometimes there's a coincidence and we do happen to have a copy, so it's always worth double checking. So that's where you can email library@fanshawec.ca. You can click that Ask On button and connect with a library staff member, and they will help you search our online catalog as well as our print catalog to see if we have hard copies or an ebook version. We are doing a curbside pickup model starting Monday, I believe, on the 21st. So if we have a copy of the book in print, you can place a hold. We will pull it off the shelf for you, and you will get an email when it's ready to be picked up. So hard copy books are available. Obviously, ebooks are going to be easier. Again, we don't typically buy ebooks, but it may be a coincidence that we have it. So we can certainly help you search the databases for your textbooks, just to be sure.
Yeah, and I would say that students are asking, do we need the books and everything? Books are absolutely an integral part of your educational experience here at Fanshawe. You would need them. And in many cases, you actually absolutely need the books for, especially if there are certifications involved with your program, you absolutely need a copy of your book for those certifications as well. But as Alex said, some by coincidence might be available at library as well. I'm trying to see, so students are asking for retail's contact. I would request my, oh yeah, and we provided the retail contact, retail@fanshawe.ca if you want more information on about the books. Thank you so much, Alex, for joining us this morning and all the wonderful information you provided. Thank you. So next we have Rebecca from Career Services, Career and Employment and Student Entrepreneurial Services.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, everybody. So happy to be joining all of you. I'm just here as a representative of Career Services. So my department, I'm going to explain a little bit about how it works, but every single one of you as part of our Fanshawe guarantee has a personal career consultant attached to your program. So we are here to work one-on-one with you. We have a lot of workshops, and I'm going to go through a little bit of this. And it's a brief overview. We have a lot more services than I'm able to talk about this morning, but at least we can start from here. So I'm part of the Employment and Student Entrepreneurial Services. There's actually 4 sections of my department. So I'm part of Career Services. So Career Services helps students gain the wording. So I help with resumes, cover letters, interviews. We help you talk to future employers about the skills that you've not only gained through college, but what you've gained previously in any sort of employment or volunteer roles. So every single one of you gets someone like me. We do have the co-op education portion of our department as well. Co-op, if you have a co-op as part of your program, you will get a career services consultant as well as a co-op education consultant. If you don't have co-op as part of your program, you still get career services. Community Employment Services is our job seeker for the general public. So if people are not Fanshawe students, but they are looking for work, then the Community Employment Services office helps them look for work that way. And then we also have this really cool program called Leap Junction Student Entrepreneurial Services for any student that is interested in starting their own job. They are an incubator. They did it all virtually this summer, and it was very, very successful. They will take you right from an idea or a concept all the way through to developing your business and marketing. It's an amazing program. It's very unique to our college, and we just want to be able to help everybody, whether they are a student, a job seeker in the general public, looking to make their own business. Whatever you're looking for, we can definitely help. Next slide, please. So what we do have here, we have a job board for co-op students as well as everybody. So I don't like the way that was worded, but we do have a job board for you. So they are not jobs with Fanshawe College, but they are jobs with employers in the area and all over the world that are specifically looking to hire our students. Last year, we were the #1 college in Ontario for graduate student employment rate. We had over a 90% student employment rate for people who have graduated programs and within 6 months have gone on to get their first job in their field. It's a really high statistic. I know how much work we do with students to make sure that you are successful. Sometimes it's not the first time, so sometimes it takes a couple of back and forth until we can make sure that you're successful. But I mean, with the whole COVID thing and everything moving and people not really know what we're doing these days, all we can do is the best that we can do with what we have control over. So if you are in a co-op class, there are co-op 10, 20 classes. They will teach you how to look for a co-op. So my department does not specifically get you a job, but we help arm you with all of the skills and experience to be able to find that job, because you're not always going to have a me on your side. But going forward, we want to make sure that you know how to do things like build a resume, change a resume, cover letters, how to look for work here in Canada, and how to look for work online. Our resumes here in Canada are very different than the rest of the world, and I find that out more and more as I work with my wonderful international students. So we want to make sure that when you are looking for work, you're doing it right the first time, because I don't want you burning opportunities that you didn't know necessarily any better about. We help you with your interview skills. We'll show you how to do some networking here in Canada. We'll help you with your LinkedIn profile and your social media. We do career exploration and assessments as well. So if you've chosen a program here, but you're not quite sure what some of the other jobs associated with that program are, we can help you explore that. If you're taking a program and you've decided you're not quite sure if this is what you want to do, we can do some assessments to find out how we can use those skills to get you into other industries. There's lots of things we can do with the career exploration. It's a wonderful tool. And all of these services that I'm talking about right now are paid through your student fees. So this is all completely free for you, and I encourage you to connect with us. We do have duty days. So we have drop-in sessions for students. We do a lot of one-on-one work on Zoom, on the phone, on email, whatever's easiest for you to connect with us. So we do have drop-in days when we were operational fully. We're still doing drop-in days. It's all in a virtual platform. You can find all of these services under the Career Services tab on the Fanshawe College website. You can also sign up for all of those workshops through your Fanshawe online account under Career Services. We don't have standard drop-in days yet. We're trying to make sure that we are available to all students no matter what time zone they are in. So it's sort of a moving target that way, but don't worry, if you can't do the drop-in session, then you'll be able to connect one-on-one with your career services consultant, which under career services, you'll find a list of us. You'll see most of our pictures, and you'll also see which programs we actually represent. So I'm in charge of helping students with their career stuff on the School of Tourism, Hospitality and Culinary Arts, the School of Public Safety, and the School of Community Studies. We have a lot of different events. So Ignite Career Conference is our big signature event. We are holding it this year. It is going to be in an online virtual platform, but what we do is we do workshops for students that are beyond the regular workshops that we do on a day-to-day basis. We have a lot of leadership opportunities that we offer for students as well. And part of this Ignite Career Conference is, it's part networking. You'll be able to network with some professionals maybe in your industry. We have an employer panel where they talk about all of their success. We also have keynote speakers, so that's a good one. We also have career fairs. So we are doing a virtual online career fair. So even if you're in country right now, you can still access the career fair. You can start your networking. So even though you're not here yet, potentially, we know that you are coming, and we want to make sure that we offer you some good information that way. Headshot, so everything is on a virtual platform. We want to make sure that you have a really good headshot for your social media, whatever platform you're using. We do that for free here. I'm not sure how that works right this second, but please know that anything we haven't had on a virtual platform yet, we are working on it as we speak. Career Closet and portfolio projects. So Career Closet, we recognize that students don't always have a lot of money to throw at potential interviews. So we have an entire huge closet full of work appropriate interview attire for all shapes and sizes for both genders. All you have to do is let us know. We get you an outfit. Then once you've worn it and bring it back to us, we get it laundered at absolutely no charge to you. Having a portfolio when you go to an interview makes you feel and look a little bit more put together. So we do have free portfolios for you to use for interviews. Interview Stream is a great way to practice your online interview skills. You can get access to that on our career site as well. And then Leap Junction is there for all of your entrepreneurial needs, and we're here to assist you. Next slide, please. So here is some live links to more information about the 4 different areas that I talked about. I can't say enough good things about the people that are in my department. All of Fanshawe is absolutely fantastic. I do have a little bit of a bias for career services, obviously. All of us have a wealth of information. Most of us have been in our fields I've been doing what I do for 20 years, but I only joined Fanshawe 3 years ago. I used to run a business, so I can tell you my experience from being an employer. So we can effectively make your resume talk to employers and show them how we can help you. And that would be it for my portion, if anybody has any quick questions.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I would also say career services at Fanshawe are rated as the best career services in Ontario. I think that was a recent survey that was done late last year, I believe.
Yep. We're very
awesome.
proud, and we're proud of our students. We love them.
Awesome. So if there are any career-specific related questions, I would try to skim through those. So there is a student asking a question. Do you help us get jobs after graduation along with the PGWP, or the PGWP part is completely separated? I'll just say the postgrad work permit is something that the international immigration advisors will help you apply for through workshops, but all that will be there. But Rebecca, I think the question is more about at what point do you help us?
We help students right from the very beginning. A lot of people think that you wait till graduation and then start looking. If you start right from the very beginning, building a plan towards what you're going to do towards the end of graduation, that is what we help support. So I recommend you contact me immediately so that we can start figuring out. We may not do a lot of work on it right now, but having a good resume ready to go is good. Figuring out maybe some of the other opportunities like co-curricular record stuff. If you haven't actually had a job before, have no fear. There's a lot of skills that you do learn as a college student that we can help for your job. We also help with part-time jobs. So again, we don't get you a job, but we give you all of the guidance and the support to help you find that career job. We do have a lot of contacts, and again, we do have that job board. I always ask students when they're looking for work, look at the career services job board first. There are a lot of fraudulent job postings out there, which I didn't touch on in this, but if anybody gets a job offer that they're not sure if it looks legitimate, or if you get a job offer for a position you didn't actually apply for, big red flag, or if they're asking you to outlay money or cash checks and send them back the remainder, those are all fraudulent job offers. So the main email address that you have, if you have any questions, is career@fanshawec.ca. But basically, to get back to that question, is I can help you right from the beginning.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. There is a couple of questions. First, there is a shout out for the Fanshawe work session that was yesterday.
Yeah,
Student is saying thank you for organizing that.
You're welcome.
Awesome. And we have a question so this is really important, I think, because the student is asking, do you help us even if we don't contact you? So I don't know if you want to kind of talk them through like how to contact you. Of course,
yeah. No, I have a really good answer for that. So can I help you specifically if you don't contact me or the department? We can. We do have online webinars and workshops. So, I mean, in theory, you can certainly put together a resume and practice your interview skills without actually physically contacting us. I think that by contacting us, it gives you a bit of a competitive advantage, because for me, it's always nice to bounce ideas off of somebody. And sometimes you can come up with some really unique ways of approaching employers by talking to other people. But I always say, in Canada here, we will help you if you ask. So no one's going to come up and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, can I help you? But if you contact us and say, I need help, we will drop whatever we're doing to make sure that we can help you. So that whole guarantee is if you contact me, you will get an answer within 24 hours. You may not got the answer that you're looking for, but I will confirm that I've received your email, and I will make sure that you get some sort of an answer and keep you up to date on when I'm doing that. But I say, you know, if you need the assistance, I am here to help. But if you don't contact me, I don't know you're there.
Right, absolutely. And I always say to students that all these wonderful services that Fanshawe offers, these services we can make available. We can't force you to take them. Yep. But if you take them, like that defines your success, right? Like that can be a big contributing factor. So
that's right.
Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Rebecca, for all the information that you've provided this morning. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Bye, everyone.
So before I hand it over to the international engagement team, there are a couple of questions that I want to handle, because there's a student asking about postgrad work permit. Do you help us apply for it? And the answer is yes. However, what you have to, through all the services that we provide, we want students to be self-sufficient. PGWP is a big deal. Postgraduate work permit is a big deal. So we have workshops. We have awesome immigration advisors here at Fanshawe International. We will help you through the process for that. You would have to do it yourself, but we will help you absolutely through the process of applying for the postgrad work permit. With that, I would like to hand it over to Emily from Fanshawe's International Student Engagement Team.
Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Laura and I are here. We're more than happy to welcome all of you to the Fanshawe family. We think you're fucking awesome. So without further ado, we'll move on to explaining more about what we can offer you guys. So before we start, there's some very important vocabulary that we think you guys should learn. When you come to our campuses, or when you're in London, or when you're in Canada, you're going to realize there's a few phrases that people use quite often. And we just want to introduce you to some of those. So some of them are give it a go. Laura, what does give it a go mean?
Means basically give it a try.
Very good. Good thing that didn't go over my head. So if something goes over your head, then that means that you didn't quite grasp it. What about wiggle room, Laura?
Wiggle room, I guess if you would say we have a little wiggle room on that topic, or with the timing of something, it just basically means it's a little bit more flexible, maybe.
Would you say that'd be a good call?
Yeah, sure. So good call kind of means like good answer. Yeah.
Same with no brainer. So that's a good call. It's a no brainer. Therefore, we're good to go. How about a double double? Can I get you a double double?
No, thanks. I don't drink coffee.
So a double double is from Tim Hortons.
A double double is coffee with 2 creams, 2 sugars.
But I don't need it ASAP. So ASAP means as soon as possible. Laura, are you feeling under the weather?
No, today I feel pretty good.
So if you're feeling under the weather, that means that you're not feeling very good. How about KD?
KD would be craft dinner, basically a macaroni and cheese that comes out of a box.
A lot of students eat it. A lot of us adults continue to eat it as we move into the future as well. And poutine is always a favorite. So if you like fries, if you like gravy, if you like cheese, you will like poutine. 3 of the other sentences you'll often hear a lot are A, which I'm sure you've heard is very stereotypic. So something that Canadians say a lot. We do say sorry a lot, and we also say excuse me a lot. So those are a few little items that we thought we would help introduce you to now so you can get familiar with them. Next slide, please. So at Fanshawe Cares, we have arrival services, and this is really here to support you when you arrive and post arriving to Canada. So we offer supports to help you create an isolation checklist. This helps you with figuring out where you're going to be staying when you arrive, especially right now with COVID. So the quarantine, where you're going to be living, we can help you get there. We can help you get to your home that you'll be living in the fall as well. We can help you with resources for delivery and food and medication. And also we do have some online resources that are available to you through YouTube with a 14-day self-isolation online series that you can access at any time, and we're always here to answer questions. If you do need resources, if you do need help, if you do need support, please do reach out to us at fanshawecares@fanshawec.ca. Next slide, please. As Swerve mentioned in the beginning, we continue to offer virtual services. So we do have appointments available to students virtually from 5:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. You can make those appointments. There is a link at the bottom of this slide. And moving forward, we're looking to offer some in-person appointments as well on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Laura will be helping with students for those appointments moving forward once classes do start. We do encourage you to pay attention to your emails. We will be sending updates on regular Fanshawe Care sessions, immigration workshops. That does include the postgraduate work permit, as well as extending your study permit or co-op permit extensions. We have IRCC events, so we do invite a local IRCC agent to come in and talk about important information that can help you guys. Don't forget the program-specific orientation that will be tomorrow, and classes begin on Monday. Next slide, please. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to my colleague Laura to explain more. She is one of our student life coordinators, and she is wonderful and more than happy to help all of you.
Hi, everyone. As Emily mentioned, my name is Laura, and I am one of the student life coordinators in the international office. Part of my role is basically helping you with anything to do with your life while you're a student here at Fanshawe. So some of the different things that we do in the office, we offer academic and personal support. So the academic support, a lot of you might have come for a program. Maybe you feel like after one semester, this is not the right program for you. So we do help students change if they feel that they're in the wrong program. Sometimes you might have come for one program and you've decided to add a second program. So again, that's something that we help with. In terms of personal support, most of our staff in the office have either lived overseas or are from somewhere else originally as well. So we do understand what it's like to be an international student and living in a new country. So we can always come help talk to you about, culture shock or homesickness or anything that you want to talk about in terms of, living in London or, being an international student, even if you're in your home country, maybe adjusting to studying online, anything like that we can talk to you about. The program advice, that's kind of what I was talking about, like if you have to change your program or add another program. The visas and study permit workshops. So we've kind of talked about this a little bit, but we do provide assistance with study permit applications, study permit extensions, visa, if you need a new visa. Your post-grad work permit's a big one that we provide help with when you're finally finished. And so we do all these applications through workshops where we'll go kind of step by step through the process. So you do the application yourself, but we show you how to do that. We have, some problem solving things we can help you with. If you encounter any problems, let us know. A lot of times that might be referring you to another department or talking to somebody else, but we'll help you know the process and how to get that done. We do have a very diverse office, so we do have speakers from most languages available. One thing we recognize is that sometimes if you're upset or really confused, you may not want to also think, how do I say this in English? So for anybody, maybe especially like if you're a lower level EAP student or something, like somebody who's learning English with the college, we can provide some language support if needed. Okay, next slide there. All students who are studying in Canada have health insurance. It's through a company called MoreCare. So right now, if you're in a blended program, you are covered for your health care within the city and within Canada. So right now, the other thing to know is if you are in your home country, we've sent out a form for you to fill out to say that you're in your home country, and that will help us adjust your health insurance. So since you're not here, you wouldn't need it quite yet. So that's a really important thing, just to let us know where you are so that we know whether you need the health insurance or not. You can print your healthcare card if you're in Canada on the 10th day of class, and then you would use that to visit a walk-in clinic or the clinic on campus. You just present that card with your student card, and you're covered for all basic health services. So it includes the same kind of coverage that a Canadian would have, as well as having a little bit of dental, and a few other services that you may need healthcare wise. Again, for if you're here in a blended program, you do have the bus pass included in your fees. So that means you have access to the buses in London. If you're on a fully online program, and you are in Canada, you may want to purchase the bus pass through the FSU. We didn't include it in your tuition this time. Normally it is, but we didn't do it this time because some online students like yourselves aren't in Canada, or maybe you're not in London. So we didn't include it with the fees this time. So you can purchase one through the Fanshawe Student Union. The rate that the student union has is much cheaper than purchasing the bus pass through the city. So definitely make sure you do it through the FSU and not through the LTC if you do want the bus pass. Textbooks, again, if you're here in Canada, you can purchase them from the Fanshawe bookstore, the retail services, so the links are there for that. And then if you are online outside of Canada, you can contact retail services and they can see if they can ship them to you at home, or whether there's online textbooks available. Amazon is also a really great option. I myself, I'm studying online through a university that's in Newfoundland, and they have an online bookstore, but I always go to Amazon, and I can usually get it cheaper through Amazon. So you can always check Amazon as well for your books. And there's a couple links there that show you the examples of some of the textbooks that are being used if you're in a RIT course. So if you're in a diploma, you would have a course called RIT, or if you have a communication course as well. Okay, so campus safety. So again, if you're here on campus, you will notice that we do have campus safety. So we have the kind of like Fanshawe police sort of thing. And you'll see them on campus, and it's their job just to make sure that the campus stays safe and everybody feels safe while they're studying on campus. They have a few different services that you can access. So they have a Stay Safe app. So they offer some services like Safe Walk, that sort of things. If you're studying on campus late at night and you want somebody to walk you to the bus stop, they have that available. If you do have an emergency in Canada, you would call 911. So that's fire, ambulance, and police. We can all be accessed through 911. And then the campus security have their own phone line, again, usually for non-emergency stuff. You would call that, and they would come and deal with anything that's a non-emergency. There are other ways to contact them in an emergency. Again, this is for people who are studying on campus. Social insurance numbers is something we get a lot of questions about. So a social insurance number is required to work legally in Canada. So at the moment, you can apply on their website for a time to go in and get the social insurance number. So again, for anybody who's studying in Canada in a post-secondary program, that means you can work off campus, but you do need to get the social insurance number first. All of your employers are going to ask you for that number when you start work. So that would be, there's some links there to help you with that. One thing we want you guys to be aware of is, although Canada is very safe, and there are still some scams to be aware of. Unfortunately, international students sometimes become the victim of these scams just because you don't know whether it's real or whether this is something that you should need to do. So we've had students get calls that say they're from immigration. The students I've talked to who've had these phone calls said that they looked very real. Like on the screen of the phone, it said it was Canadian immigration coming through, and they will they receive these threatening phone calls saying they're going to be deported or that they're going to end up in jail. Please be aware that immigration would never call you. Immigration does two different things. If they want to contact you, they send you an email and ask you to sign into your online account, or they'll come to your house. They will never, ever, ever call you. So if you do get any phone calls from anybody saying they're immigration or the police, please do not believe them. It is totally fine to hang up on this person. We've had students lose thousands and thousands of dollars because they did feel like the call was very real and they felt very threatened by the phone call. So again, if you are getting calls like this, you can hang up. If you're unsure, you can always ask us. Another one that you'll hear sometimes, maybe somebody's saying that they're from the CRA, or the CRA, which is the Canadian Revenue Agency, so tax fraud as well. So again, they would never call you. So if you are getting these calls, please just hang up. You can always double check with us. And just, yeah, don't give any money to anybody if you're not sure if it's legitimate. Another thing we want you to be aware of is that marijuana is now legal in Canada. It's a fairly new law, but so it's kind of weird even for us. So we just want to make sure that nobody gets in trouble while they're here. So again, it's not okay in school. It's not okay in the workplace. Same idea as if you were going to have a drink. So don't do that. Don't have a drink, go to work or school. So the same thing would apply with this. There are stores where you can purchase it from, but it is still illegal to buy it on the street. You would need to buy it in a designated store, and it is illegal to smoke marijuana and drive. So same thing with drinking. We do have a housing mediation officer. So if you are living in London and your apartment is not up to standards, let's say if you have bugs like bed bugs in your apartment, if you don't have things like heat or hot water, if you have your refrigerator's not running properly, all of those things legally need to be taken care of. So you need to have heat, hot water. You don't want to be living with any kind of bugs or pests in your house. So if you are experiencing any of this, you can contact Glenn Matthews. He works with Fanshawe and with Western, and he's an expert in terms of like landlord and tenant issues. So can you break a lease? Can you get out of your lease, that sort of thing. He also can even help you with, like, if you have one roommate who, things aren't going well with that roommate. Maybe you guys want to ask that roommate to leave and you want to know legally, can you do that? Again, Glenn Matthews would be the expert in that area. London is known as the Forest City. There, as you can see by the pictures there, it's very green. There's lots of parks and open spaces, lots of walking trails. So it is a really nice city. So for anybody who's here already, get out and explore. If you're not here yet, this is definitely something you can look forward to. When you do get here, it's a really great place to get out and enjoy some nice, green space, that sort of thing. So I know if you're coming from a huge city, it's going to feel a bit different. I lived in Korea myself, so coming here to London, where it was like very spread out, lots of green space, it was even a little bit of a surprise for me. So definitely get out and look forward to getting out and exploring the city. Okay, I think I'm gonna turn it back over to Saurabh. He's gonna finish up with a few contests and things.
Thank you so much, Laura. So if there are any questions specific to the services Laura spoke about, you can ask those. There are a couple of things, Laura, that have already come forward, and I think we can clarify those. First is the question about health insurance if they are in an online program while they're in Canada. So as Laura said, the form has come to you. You need to fill that form. If you are in Canada, you will have the health insurance if you fill that form. But if you're not in Canada, you need to indicate that you're not in Canada. When you arrive in Canada, within the first semester, if you do that, you'll need to buy health insurance on your own. When you arrive in your second semester, if you arrive in Canada, of course, at that point, health insurance would be a part of your fee again. And you would be covered. So that's just a couple of things I wanted to clarify. If there are any other questions, we could look at answering those. Laura and Emily, I'll just run through a few questions and see if you guys wanted to answer that. So there was a question around SIN number. Should I'm in an online program out of country, should I apply for a SIN number?
I would say you'd want to wait until you're in Canada because you'll need your study permit. Your study permit will be given to you when you come into Canada. It's a one-page paper. So if you're not in Canada, you don't have that yet. And you do need the study permit to go get the SIN number, because on the bottom of your study permit, there will be a line about your working permission. You do need a couple sentences at the bottom of your study permit saying that you are allowed to work in order to get the SIN number. So if you're outside of Canada, you can't do this step yet.
All right, and the next question is around MoreCare. Is the MoreCare insurance already activated? So I think what they mean is, are they already eligible for MoreCare if they are in Canada?
So yes, the MoreCare starts, I think, at the start of the month. So you've been covered, I believe, since the start of September. That's usually the way it is. And yes, you would be covered right now if you are in Canada. You just can't print the card yet. So if you do need to see a doctor, you can always contact our front desk staff. So international@fanshawe.ca, and they can help you with a temporary card if you needed to see a doctor right now.
Okay. There is a student who said that they've received the online form and they're not able to open it. I would say try again. If you're not able to open it, please contact international@fanshawe.ca, and we can help you with that. So I'm looking at a couple of other questions. So there are questions, of course, right, about students who received their stage 1 approval and are waiting for their study permit. How long would it take? I think the simple answer is we don't know. However, we've already seen students who submitted stage 1 approval for us and have already received their study permit approval. But the short answer is we don't know. It depends on each visa processing office. So we're not able to give a general answer for a question like that. So there is another question about MoreCare. Can we use MoreCare in different provinces or only in London?
Healthcare in Canada is provincially, it's a provincial thing, but I do believe MoreCare has out of province coverage. You may want to double check that with MoreCare based off of where you are, but I do believe there is out of province coverage, so built into the plan.
There's another question saying, can we access our GIC SIN number and SIM card and activate it while being in quarantine here in London?
I think with the SIN number, what you're doing is booking an appointment to go in. I think they can do, you could try. I mean, but from what I know, talking to students, a lot of it was booking an appointment to go in and get it. But I know there are like a lot of things being done virtually, so you can always try with the SIN number. I would imagine the banking and stuff would need to be done in person. But again,
I just want to clarify, Laura, that the student is asking about while being on quarantine. So the answer would be no, while
that's what I mean. Like, unless it can be done online, they can't, right? You can't leave your place.
Absolutely. So after you've done your quarantine, you can do any in-person appointments, but a lot of the things are available virtually now. So that's what Laura was indicating. You can do many of these things virtually. So there's a question about what does my health insurance include? I think if you go on the health insurance page, you get answers to a lot of those questions. And there are questions, like in general, there are questions about on-campus jobs right now. And I just say that because very limited things, all campus is open and there are many students on campus starting Monday, there would still be limited student operations on campus. So you just need to be aware of that if you're looking for on-campus jobs right now. In the city, of course, you'd have many more opportunities if you are in Canada as well. All right. Okay. So that would be it. Thank you so much, Emily and Laura, for joining us. I have a couple of things that I'd still like to talk to everyone about. So first is our social media channels. Now, a lot of times you're asking us questions in email. If it's a quick thing, try doing it on our social media channels. Like now, if it's a question about your particular scenario or like your particular case, like we might not be able to answer that on social media, and we'd still ask you to contact us on email, but our Facebook and Instagram channels would give you a lot of answers based on your questions. So look at that. I would just try to point out that there are some questions that students are asking about future students. I will not answer any of those questions because this session is not for future students, it's for our current students. So we're going to focus on questions around our current students. So our LinkedIn channel, our Instagram channel, our YouTube channel, and our WeChat channel, these are all the channels you can connect with us on. Now, here is something I need your help with, and there is a contest coming right after this, I can tell you that. Fanshawe Worldwide Fair, so this is not for current students, this is for future students who've not applied to Fanshawe or have applied to Fanshawe for next year. Fanshawe is doing a bunch of worldwide fairs, virtual worldwide fairs in 4 time zones across the world. These are all happening October 2020, from October 2nd to October 22nd. You can go to fanshaweworldwidefair.com. What we want your help in is spread the word to any of your friends or family who might be considering coming to Canada next year. We will also be sending out an email in the next couple of weeks to all current students around this. But that's one thing that we need your help with. We're doing virtual sessions and there'll be many guest speakers. Some of the ones that you saw today will be there as well. And a lot of other people as well talking about studying in Canada and many other things throughout these worldwide fairs. So that's just a shout out for those worldwide fairs. So contest time. So this contest gives you an opportunity to win one of 2 $25 gift cards. What gift card? We have multiple options available to you. You'd not be disappointed. There are many, many options available to you. So here is what you do if you want to participate in this contest. You scan this QR code, simple enough, or you go to this URL that we provided here. You take a selfie using the filter. You see the shades, the goggles filter that you see, the Fanshawe filter. You download that photo, you send it to Fanshawe International's Facebook or Instagram account. Now, Fanshawe has multiple Facebook and Instagram accounts, so please make sure that you send it to the international Facebook or Instagram account. You do this and you can be one of 2 winners of $25 gift card as well. Okay, so I would like to talk about a couple of questions that I've been seeing. A lot of the questions have been around my program books, my program schedule, all that. I would reiterate that the program orientations are tomorrow. You absolutely must attend that. And that is a very, very good starting point for any questions you have about your schedule, your books, and anything related to your program, like what link do you use, what tool do you use to participate in your class and things like that. So you must attend those program orientations tomorrow. Now, there are a bunch of links that we provided through the chat, so I'll give you a couple of minutes to go through those links as well. There are Fanshawe card links, so Fanshawe FSU card, Fanshawe fan card. The link for that has been provided in the chat box as well. A student was asking for a language-specific staff from Fanshawe College. I provided you the staff directory. You can look at staff from across the world for Fanshawe College. You can contact them if you have any questions. You would find contacts for all the staff on that link as well. And I'm just trying to see if there are any other pertinent questions that I need to look at as well. Right, and a lot of students is telling us that the Fanshawe card, they've already sent all their details. They're still to receive a reply. They, mind you, they're looking at dealing with this for 6,000 students. So I apologize for the delay from the Fanshawe cards. However, they're working through your request for that. So we would appreciate some patience on that. I do understand all of you want to get it right away, but I'm sure they're working through all the requests for Fanshawe cards. There are questions about, so there are questions about scholarships apparently that have come through. So fanshawe.ca/international has a link to scholarships. You can look at those links for scholarships as well. However, if you've already enrolled in Fanshawe College, level 1 scholarships are something that you don't apply to. Fanshawe takes care of those scholarships or awards, but future, based on your level 1 performance, there are multiple awards or scholarships you would be able to apply to. fanshawe.ca/international has a scholarship link, which is what you can look at what are the kind of different scholarships or bursaries that you can apply to. All right, so I think that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this. I hope all of you have a really great time here at Fanshawe College, virtually or in person. If you're joining us virtually for now, we hope to see you in Fanshawe College in London sometime in the future, very, very soon. Thank you. Please join your program orientations tomorrow, and your program starts Monday, September 21st. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.